Hello friends, I'm making one of these quirky TikTok-like voiceover videos, so I hope y'all enjoy. But if this flops, I'll just hope not too many people downloaded it and I'm not humiliated in the coming weeks or years. Anyways, here I am preparing my first large oil piece painting commission. It's a painting of the late artist Pop Smoke, rest in peace. And you might be able to see the reference, which is just off to the side. Oh, and don't mind me being a total TikTok queen right there. I just finished gridding the 16 by 20 canvas and now I'm just sketching and drawing, putting the elements where they should go, such as the facial features, the shirt, and stuff like that. After the sketching stage, I thought it would be a good idea to prime the canvas, which I saw someone do once, but apparently I'm not smart enough and the drawing was kind of messed up. But luckily I could still see through it. At this point, I remember for the Juice WRLD piece I made, I wish I put the background first, but I kind of realized that I shouldn't do that with oil because oil doesn't really dry as quickly and it was kind of hard to rest my hand on the painting when I wanted to get in those small details. And it didn't really help because I kind of have a shaky hand when I'm painting with no sort of support. Oh yeah, and here's me mixing paint with plastic tools because I haven't invested in metal ones and I'm still a third grader at heart. So with portraits, I've learned that during the early stages, you just start off with a large brush and put in just basic values. So I'm generally avoiding getting into too much detail as that will come later on towards the end. Okay, now if you've ever seen a Bob Ross painting video, you know that the paintings sometimes look terrible, but they're quickly fixed and turn out nice. I know he doesn't look the best, but please bear with me. I just have to keep working on it. Trust. Oh, and here's me writing the script for this. Hi! And here's more of me just close up putting values where they're supposed to be and layering on paint, which will make it easier to blend it later on, which is one of the many perks of using oils. Luckily, I realized as I was a little bit off, so I had to just cover over it and I redid the outline of it. At this point, I'm just making sure his outline is clearly defined. And now my hand's in the shot. God sorry about that. Anyways, now I'm just working on the sweater, adding in texture, which gives another dimension to the piece, but more of it will come a little bit later. Right now I'm using a small short brush to get in those details in the face. Everything is just slowly coming together, and I think it looks a little nicer than it did before. So the hair is always one of the most difficult aspects just because it's very detailed and the highlights are just very specific, but I'm definitely happy with how it turned out by the end. I decided to go back into the code at this point. His sweater was like a fur texture, which I tried to emulate, and I also had to put in the off-white logos, which I'm just placing down with the black color, just so I know where they're generally supposed to be. I'm going to darken them a lot more later on. Now I'm just working on his hair, making them seem more like braids, and just going back and forth between different places, adding highlight and such. At this point in my head, I could hear my old art teacher telling me to push the values, which if you're not an artist, basically means to make the darks darker and the lights lighter, which makes it just look a little more realistic, which I tried doing around like the mouth and the nose and the eyebrow area. So when I'm making art, I have to have something like in the background. So maybe that's like an album, my Fire Apple Music playlist, or in this case, when I'm finishing the painting, I was watching Twitches and Twitches 2, both great films that remind me of my childhood a lot. It was nice having that in the background. Overall, I think projects like these are super fun, and even though they're time consuming, like this one may have taken 10 hours, and it makes it a lot easier to do if I'm motivated. I really hope one day I could just live stream me just painting, because I think that would be super fun. But anyways, back to the painting. You just saw me darken the off-white logos, and now I'm going back into the hair. A difficulty I had in this piece is making the chain look realistic. It was kind of blending into the shirt in the original picture. And again, I'm just adding subtle details like the neck tattoos and the shading, which took a lot of planning beforehand. But finally, I decided to put the background again, so I guess the beginning was pretty useless. But you know, you live and you learn, you live and you learn. Now here's some shots of the final product. I just had to wait a couple days for it to dry. Thank you so much for watching from the bottom of my heart. Truly appreciate it if you made it this far. Please consider following and liking. Make sure y'all stay hydrated and make good decisions. Later!